Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode number 502 of NoDQ&A Video, right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A Video's affiliate, RingsideNews.com. Got your questions here via spring.me/AaronRift. So let's get started with the first one today from Calvin Bowman 1. Hey Aaron, I think Brock Lesnar will beat John Cena and win the World Heavyweight title at Summerslam. Do you think this will happen, and if so, how long do you think he will stay as champion? Please answer in video. Well, I've discussed Brock Lesnar before and what WWE will have planned for him going into next year's WrestleMania. Here's the thing. I figured Brock Lesnar would win the WWE title at some point. I thought it would be closer to the Royal Rumble if he's going to be working a part-time schedule. To me, it would make more sense for him to win closer to WrestleMania when he won't be having to work as many dates as champion. But if Brock Lesnar beats John Cena at SummerSlam, which I think he will, and he absolutely 100% should, coming off ending the Undertaker's streak, then the question is, where does WWE go with him as WWE champion? Will he be working more dates? That is a big question. Or are they going to have Brock Lesnar, the WWE champion, continue to be a part-timer, and the WWE champion only makes occasional appearances? So that is something that remains to be seen, what's going to happen with Brock Lesnar. I'm assuming he will at least make more pay-per-view appearances, and this will not be the last time we see him until the Royal Rumble, because to me that would be absolutely crazy with him as WWE champion. And there's no way that he should be losing to John Cena. You know, that would kill off the momentum that he has gained from beating the streak, and you really want to get as much out of Lesnar and use Lesnar to put over your next big superstar, which in all likelihood is Roman Reigns at next year's WrestleMania. So hopefully they have a plan for what to do with Brock Lesnar over the next several months, and one would think that he'll be appearing more often and defending the title at least on maybe Survivor Series or a few of the other pay-per-views. All right, this one comes from Wayne Washington, and this is just more the same about Brock Lesnar. How would you book him as champion? I would just continue to make him dominant, and he needs to be around if he's going to be WWE champion following SummerSlam. So I would at least have him defend at Night of Champions, maybe Survivor Series and Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber. So, you know, continue to have him defend the title and destroy everybody, you know, maybe even put him in there with Dean Ambrose or some of the top baby faces in WWE, maybe even turn Randy Orton babyface and do Brock Lesnar versus Orton. Just have Brock Lesnar go through everybody on the WWE roster until there's one man who wins the Royal Rumble and then goes on to beat Brock Lesnar, and that seals his fate as the next face of the company, and that guy will most likely be Roman Reigns. That's how I would do it, at least, and we'll see where things go with it. All right, moving on here. This one comes from Gravy Sticks. WWE has really been screwing over its diehard fans. They label as very small vocal group that they call the IWC. Do you think that they will give us something at SummerSlam to avoid pissing us off completely and not re-upping our network subscriptions? Absolutely. And by the way, I just wanted to make note that I found it hilarious on Raw when Triple H took that shot at the internet fans, saying he would go on Twitter and complain, and said that him and his friend Mark were going to quit watching or something along those lines. I just thought that was hilarious. Regarding SummerSlam, obviously this is a huge show for WWE. It's one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. And, you know, if people were upset about Battleground, they should have known going in that that was a throwaway show. And with the network subscriptions coming up, the people that subscribed in late February, you know, WWE is going to go all out for SummerSlam and Night of Champions as well, since that'll be the first pay-per-view with the second period of subscriptions, the second cycle starting up. So they're going to want to... They're going to want to have SummerSlam be a huge show, and same thing with Night of Champions. And for these two pay-per-views, they're going to be going all out. And, you know, it just goes to show with Brock Lesnar, John Cena as the headliner match, doing that for SummerSlam, not waiting to put Brock Lesnar in the title situation. You know, they're really banking on that match to get people talking, and you know, that will please fans right there. Brock Lesnar beating John Cena for the WWE title. I mean, what else can you do to make the internet fans happy than to have John Cena get destroyed by Brock Lesnar? Why do I always call him Brock Lesnar? Just when I'm talking too fast, I guess. Or maybe he just looks like a big block of a human being. I mean, he's just so massive. But anyways, yeah, I think that SummerSlam will be a really strong show this year. And last year, SummerSlam was really good. It broke the streak of bad SummerSlams, and I think that, you know, in all likelihood, this will be a really good SummerSlam. I mean, they've already got a stacked card for this year's show, and some of the other SummerSlams, the cards were relatively weak. For this one, you know, you have Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. You have Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. You have Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. Maybe a unification match for the IC and US titles. You know, they're really loading this pay-per-view with a lot of big matches. So I'm confident that it will deliver and be a great show. And Night of Champions, I'm expecting to be a big one as well. All right, this one comes from WWE fan Dark Arrow. Heron with Zack Ryder winning on Raw. Does this mean he will be pushed again? No, it means the Attitude Era is coming back. Just had to get that out there. Every time I get a does this mean, I have to throw in the Attitude Era joke, which is far played out by this point, but whatever. Regarding Zack Ryder winning on Raw, does this mean anything? I don't think so. I just think it was an opportunity for him to win because they're doing this storyline with Fandango and you know, the girls, Summer Rae and Layla. So they wanted to just do this angle where they cost Fandango a match, and you know, Zack Ryder was just in the right place at the right time. So I don't think it means he's getting another push. I just think it was a way for them, WWE, to advance that storyline with Fandango. Unfortunately for Ryder, you know, wish I could say he was getting a push again, but if anything, if he's going to get pushed anywhere, it'll be off a cliff. You know, hate to say it. All right, this one comes from A-Train220. Hey Aaron, did Xavier Woods and Kofi and Big E turn on Raw after the talk they had after the tag match? If so, do you like this move by the WWE? That was very interesting. A lot of people are comparing it to the Nation of Domination. I'll get to that in a second. A lot of people are saying that WWE is ripping off TNA with their all-black faction, which I don't think is the case. I don't know what this means. I don't know if it means a heel turn, if they're going to play the race card, or if they're just going to be disgruntled workers that haven't been used properly. Time will tell where this group goes. And I don't know if it necessarily means they're going to be getting a big push. It just could be them being the new 3MB. I mean, who knows at this point. You know, they haven't done anything with Kofi. I don't think Kofi will work well as a heel, but at this point, you know, you've done all you can do with Kofi. He's done all the cool Royal Rumble / Battle Royal spots. But, you know, that's the thing about Kofi. He does all that cool stuff, and usually heels don't do all the flashy, cool things because then they get cheered and it doesn't make them a heel. And with Big E, you know, he's lost all of his momentum, so, you know, you might as well try to do something with these guys, but, you know, there's a very good chance it could just end up like being the new 3MB. And Cash Smits asked me, do you think this will be a new Nation of Domination? I don't know. I mean, you could try to make them a new Nation of Domination, maybe bring back Ron Simmons to be the mentor of the group. You could do that, but I'm not really a big fan of going back to the past when it's not really necessary. But you know, they have the music. It's something at least for those guys. So you know, I don't know if WWE is going to go in that direction. You know, the thing with Nation of Domination is, you know, they would go out there and play the race card and say that, you know, WWE holds down the black wrestlers. So I don't know if in this environment, in PG WWE and in this world, if they're going to want to go there and do that. Although they've done this stuff with Rusev and Lana, although they're backing away from it seems. So I don't know. I just don't know if they want that kind of heat from doing that angle, especially with all the Rusev stuff. So it's really hard to say what they're going to do with it. In the end, I think it's more likely they just do the whole disgruntled employees storyline, which was actually rumored several months ago that guys like Ziggler were going to be part of that. It's just weird that all three guys are black. So I don't know if that means anything or if it's just pure coincidence and the writers didn't even think about that. All right, this one comes from Child Incomplete. Hey Aaron, I was quite surprised Michael Cole made no mention of the WWE Network on Raw in terms of plugging it. Does this mean Vince has finally had enough of shoving it down our throats, or did Vince, being an old man, just forget to plug it? I don't think it was necessary this week because this was the first show to start the build to SummerSlam, and WWE wanted the focus to be on getting the matches announced and building up the top feuds. You don't want to do all the network plugs because that just distracts people from the storylines. I'm thinking maybe 2-3 weeks down the line when it gets closer to SummerSlam, that's when they're really going to try to get people, trying to plug it for all it's worth with the network, and all those plugs will be on Raw. And I'm especially expecting the plugs and all that after SummerSlam going into Night of Champions when as I mentioned earlier, the first 6-month commitments are over and people have to renew their network subscriptions. All right, final question here from King MJD. Hey Aaron, what did you think about WrestleMania 22? It wasn't a revolutionary event, but I thought it was a very good wrestling event and highly underrated. It had many unique matches, great moments, and a great roster of wrestlers. I thought it was a good show. I thought it was maybe somewhere around the middle of the WrestleManias, not the best WrestleMania, not the worst WrestleMania. A good show. Triple H and John Cena was an okay match for what it was, and that was one of the first matches where the fans were really very negative towards John Cena. So I mean, from a historical standpoint, that was an interesting match, and John Cena got the clean win over Triple H. Big moment for him. Shawn Michaels and Vince McMahon, way better match than I think anybody had expected going in. I mean, that just goes to show how great Shawn Michaels is and was at the time. He was able to carry Vince to a memorable, decent match. And Mick Foley versus Edge, excellent match. Definitely one of the best hardcore matches in WrestleMania history, and that memorable moment with the spear through the flaming table. And Money in the Bank was really good as well. So yeah, I mean, thumbs up show, definitely. I maybe slightly above average in the pecking order of WrestleManias. Alright, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. If you haven't already, tell a friend on Facebook and Twitter about NoDQ&A video. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the latest regarding SummerSlam, and I will see you guys next time for more.